Okay, can we start? Hey guys, my name is Victoria, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming the end of summer TBR. I know that a lot of people are already filming lots of fall themed videos or autumn themed videos, and I will do that as well. Like, fall is my favorite season. But I have a bunch of books that I really wanted to read in summer, which I didn't get to yet. I'm also slowly accepting the fact that I'm just a slow reader who does not have to read a lot of books, who does not have to force herself to read a lot of books, because last year I read like 100 books, which was insane for me, but I had a bunch of time and I was also mentally sick, so I didn't really do anything really. I was just listening to books and reading books because I needed comfort. And this year I'm doing much better and I'm actually doing stuff. I also have university, though currently, thank God, we don't have any lectures. Anyway, it's not why we're here. I just want to show you some of the books that I would love to read in summer, but I cannot guarantee myself to read them. These are just some books that I feel like fit summer perfectly, that I would just like to finish then, or just dive into. Okay, let's start with the first book. The first one is Sirens and Muses by Antonia Angress. This gives me light academia, The Secret History by Donna Tartt vibes, just with artists in New York. Also a bit more modern, I think. This is about 4 artists who are drawn into a web of rivalry. This is really hard for me to say. And desire at an elite art school and on the streets of New York in this magnificent debut. I'm not going to go into too much detail about these books. I just want to give you a picture or an image of sort of the atmosphere that I'm expecting when reading this. So I do expect like a sweaty New York, Jesus, disgusting, atmosphere and drama. That's what I'm expecting. I impulsively bought this because I thought the cover was so beautiful and it reminded me of Cleopatra and Frankenstein, just that this story was a bit more attractive to me. But I will potentially read Cleopatra and Frankenstein. Anyway, the next book is a big one. Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. This is the second part in the Last Hours trilogy, which is a prequel to the Mortal Instruments, you know, with like City of Bones, and a sequel to the Infernal Devices, and this is the second book. I recently just finished Chain of Gold again. I had to re-listen to it because I forgot a bunch. So this is about the characters, or the generation after the characters of the Infernal Devices. I will not tell you whose kids they are, but they are the children of those characters in the Infernal Devices. And I love them, and I cannot wait for all the pain I'm going to experience when I finish the series. Because I really want to read this now. I started it, and it's been a long time since I've read such a big book. But the last part I think is coming out in November. And am I ready for it? Absolutely not. I have a hunch of who's going to die because there will be death. Yeah, I do not like it. The problem with the second books in trilogies is it's always like a bit weird. It's like this stand-in for the adventure that is happening in the first book and especially in the last book. But I found that I really loved the second parts in Cassandra Clare's books, at least in this universe. But I think they're a lot of fun. Otherwise I would not read a book series that contains almost 20 books, if not 20. I think we're already at the 20 book mark. Anyway, as long as you don't get attached to the characters, which you automatically do, because I think Cassandra Clare is really great at creating characters that you just fall in love with and then they die and then you're heartbroken. The last series I read was The Dark Artifices, which was last year, and I will never recover from Queen of Air and Darkness. It was the best book I read in 2021, but it was also the most heartbreaking book I've ever read. It was so heartbreaking. I cried, I think. Let's just say I cried 4 hours. I'm ready. Okay, anyway, yeah, Chain of Iron. Want to read it before November. Anyway, let's continue with a book that I have been waiting to read for months. Ever since I knew that it was coming out. Why is there a hair on my chin? I am so excited for this book. This is Elektra by Jennifer Saint. I recently got it when I was in the city in June. This is a Greek mythology retelling and it focuses on 3 different women. On Clytemnestra, who you might know as Agamemnon's wife. If you don't know who Agamemnon is, he was really important when it came to the Trojan War. Cassandra, who's a princess of Troy, and Elektra, who's the youngest daughter of Clytemnestra and Agamemnon. And I'm so excited for this. I read Ariadne by Jennifer Saint and I thought it was brilliant. I loved it. It's another Greek mythology retelling about the Minotaur and what happened to the sister of the Minotaur, Ariadne. I first of all loved that Jennifer Saint is giving a voice to these people, to these legends and myths. It's just that the people in the myths and legends, you don't even know if they're real, whatever, it doesn't really matter. they become so palpable, and you feel like you could get to know them in a way. And that's what I love about mythology retellings, because it takes away a bit of the like unknown, the fact that we don't know if they ever existed, and everything is so like, we don't know these people, we don't know who they are, and we definitely don't after reading these books. It's just like, this is just a retelling, it's fiction. But it's still great to get to know these myths in this way. Gotta be honest, if you have never read anything, or if you really are not interested in Greek mythology at all, maybe these books aren't for you. But if you are, definitely read some retellings. I know that these are not accurate, absolutely not, and no one's claiming that they are, but it's really fun to really get invested into their story and to their emotions that they might have felt, because I get a closer connection to these people. And whether or not they're real, they ever lived, I don't know. But it's just so much fun. And I especially love Jennifer Saint because she's giving people who have not had such a big say, or who are not as popular in the general sense, a voice and emotions and their story and their own book. Like Ariadne, who's the sister of the Minotaur. A lot of people know the Minotaur, and a lot of people know Theseus, who eventually defeated the Minotaur. Minotaur. Some say Minotaur, some say Minotaur. We say Minotaurus in German. So anyway, what I want to say is that I love Greek mythology retellings, and I'm so excited for Elektra. The reason why I want to read this in summer is because I associate the sun and warmth a lot with Greek mythology. The next book is also a Greek mythology retelling, which I started finally, Cersei by Madeline Miller. First of all, I have this book 3 times, which I do not complain about because I love collecting books. Really, when someone gives me a book and I already have that book, I do not mind at all, especially if it's a different version, and this is. Cersei is the tale, or the retelling sort of the daughter of Helios. She's not very popular in her family. Like, really, her mother doesn't shit about her, and her father is nice but doesn't really care that much. Her siblings aren't that nice either. And you might know Cersei if you know the tale of Odysseus in the Odyssey of Homer. Odysseus stumbles upon Cersei, which is not that much fun for him, but I'm only in the beginning of the story. I already love the writing so much. There are some words that throw me off, gotta be honest. There are some like things that I'm like, why did you use that word? It doesn't sound as nice. I'm gonna give you examples when I read this, because I really hope I continue, because this is gorgeous. It's gorgeously written and I love it, and I can only recommend it if you like Greek mythology, retellings, and nice writing. Read this book, but I'm only in the beginning. I'm literally on page 31. So yeah, a book that I'm hopefully going to be finishing at the end of the summer. The next book is a book that I also bought in the city, which is Never the Wind by Francesco Dimitri. This is about a boy in 1996. Luca Saranchino is 13 and has been completely blind for 8 months. When his parents move to a southern Italian farmhouse, they dream of turning into a hotel. I think it's quite clear why I want to read this at the end of summer. I actually wanted to read it at the peak of summer, but anyway, first of all, the setting sounds beautiful, and I know that Luca meets a girl who kind of lets him see the world in a different way. I don't read a lot of books with disabled characters. I think I read one with a deaf character and that's it. So definitely want to read more books that includes more groups of people, I guess. And yeah, this sounds really, really nice, and I hope to read it soon. All right, the next book is a classic I've been wanting to read for ages. Emma by Jane Austen. This is a really big copy and the words are tiny, but I found a good audiobook, so I hope to read this. I really hope so. I really like Jane Austen. I mean, I only read Pride and Prejudice, but people say that Emma is her best, so I'm excited to read this, and I want to read classics. It's not even that I feel like I need to read classics, it's just that I really want to read classics. Next book is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. It's a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in Shanghai. It sounds so good. I've only heard good things so far about this book, and I've had it for quite some time. I've been wanting to read it for quite some time. It's set in 1926. It's after the protagonists Juliet and Roma were together. So it's not like their first meeting, it's like them coming together again, them being allies. And it's a bit like Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio. So a bit more modern than the Shakespeare one. So yeah, I'm excited to read this. I don't know, I want to read it in summer. I just feel like the amount of action and the setting just doesn't give me that much coziness, you know? It doesn't give me the feeling of coziness, it just gives me the feeling of this is gonna be intense. And summer is really intense. Winter is intense too, but in a different way. Actually, I'm sorry, this is getting too philosophical. let's talk about the last book I have on this TBR. I kept it short with 8 books because I doubt that I will read any of these. No, I doubt that I read all of them. You're the One That I Want by Simon James Green. Now this is a fun book that I just randomly bought last year in summer. And I already know that I'm probably not gonna be the biggest fan of the writing because I already peeked into it and I was like, But I think this is a fast-paced book. Sometimes you just need that just for fun. According to the rule, Freddie has to say yes. There's queer representation in it. Very Grease themed because I think it's about, about Freddie auditioning for a musical, and I think they're doing Grease, which sounds a lot of fun. I am a fan of Grease. His name is Freddie. Kind of biased here because I'm a huge fan of Freddie Mercury. And it's also about a hot new boy, Zach. I'm not sure if this is going to be very profound and nuanced, but you know, that's not always important when you read books. Sometimes it's just about the fun. And I think this is gonna be fun. I mean, look at this cover. It's bright and neon, and I like the colors. Anyway, this was it. This was the end of summer TBR, so books that I really hope to be reading when it's still sunny outside and will lead me into a good goodbye to summer. And I'm so excited for fall. You have no idea. Are you excited for fall? Are you excited for winter? I'm so excited. I'm not excited for university, but to be honest, but I am excited for the season because fall is my favorite season. What's your favorite season? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, the end of this video now. Stay for bloopers as always. If you liked it, then please give me a thumbs up and comment down below what you would like to see next. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and don't forget to click the little bell next to the subscription button to never miss an upload. I'll try uploading twice a week, and I will update you guys on my Instagram, my poetry account, and my Twitter. Everything is linked down below, including links for information and donation regarding the war in Ukraine. Let me know what books you want to read in like the end of August, September. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day and hopefully see you in my next video. Bye! I just want to show I cannot speak. Why am I the stupidest person ever? I would just no. I feel disgusting. Why do I feel disgusting? Gotta be enough. Okay. Ugh.